Welcome to the very first episode of my podcast, which right now, as of this moment of recording, still does not even have a name. But anyway, it should by the time you're listening to this. My name is Beth, and I am an emotion, body, and belief code practitioner. I help my clients with basically anything, ranging from physical symptoms to mental and emotional things. And I love what I do. And I have been on this healing journey, this inner work, this personal development journey now for, I don't know exactly, coming up 7-8 years, something like that. And I thought about for ages, like, what do I want to do this very first podcast episode on? Like, I'll be honest, I love talking. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see that the majority of my posts are just reels of me talking at the camera. Like, when I have a topic I want to talk about, you will not get me to shut up on camera, which is funny because it didn't used to be like this. But now, like, if I'm talking about something I love, I can just talk about it. So I thought about, like, what do I want this first podcast episode to be around? And of course, like, the natural thing is to talk about what I do and my journey and my story and blah, 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 blah. But I didn't really want to do that. It felt just not really what I wanted to do. And so, like I always do with all my content, I just want my intuition and what's coming up for me at the time and what I feel like talking about. And so that's about how this came up, basically. And this is something, not this particular topic, but like what I'm kind of going to go into in general is something I am super passionate about, because this is something I did deal with for ages and ages. And we live in like this age of information. There is so much information at our fingertips right now, like more than ever before. Like right now, as I'm recording this, I'm looking at huge stacks of books in this room. But you know, not even just books. Like, just go onto the internet and scroll on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you can just find information everywhere, and it's constantly coming at us. And I know for me, this made it so hard for me to, as I was someone, and we all, like, everyone deals with this, but I definitely dealt with this, is like so much self-doubt and having all this information constantly coming at me. I found it so hard to know what information like was meant for me and what wasn't. And I used to get so overwhelmed by all this information. In fact, right now, about a month or two ago, I basically just muted every single person that I follow on Instagram, because it was still a problem that was ongoing for me. And at the start of my business, because my business is fairly new, like, it was not something that I could afford to have, you know, like constantly wondering about, well, should I do this? Or it's not working. Maybe I need to do this. Or maybe I need to do this. And so that's what this podcast episode kind of stems from. And so, you know, originally I was going to talk about, like, you don't need a morning routine. And that is because I don't even remember how that came about. I think, you know, it's such a thing that I always see, like, jammed down our throats in this personal development world, is like the importance of a morning routine. And I think it's bullshit. Seriously, but simply. Like, of course, there is a lot of validity in starting your morning right. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't look at my phone first thing in the morning. I don't even have social media on my personal phone. So I barely even look at my phone in the morning. I look at my phone to turn off my alarm, to take my temperature for my cycle tracking. And then that's really it. Like, if there's a message, maybe I might respond. But most of my apps on my phone are actually on downtime until about 30 minutes after I wake up. So none of the notifications or anything really come through. So that also helps me to not look at my phone. But I also have a 9-month-old puppy and a cat. And so they basically demand my attention the moment I get up, demanding food, my puppy demanding a walk. So my mornings are already taken up by my animals anyway. But yeah, like, you don't need a fucking morning routine. I remember at the beginning of my journey, like it was back at the end of 2018, and I was not in a great place. And I'll talk about my story later on the podcast, but I was just not in a good place at that time and for a long time. But it was so hard. Like, I tried for so long to have like a morning routine, and I've almost always worked for myself. So I didn't really have anywhere I needed to go. Even when I didn't work for myself, like the last few years, my job was very flexible, and like I wasn't working full-time hours, and I mostly just worked like at random times, night times, random times during the day. Just that was the nature of the job. But so I never really had anywhere I needed to go in the morning. And so my morning was always like based on me. Like, I had to pull myself out of bed and get the motivation to do everything. And so, yeah, morning routine logically would have been incredible. But it just never, like, a morning routine was just never something that really like clicked for me. And I beat myself up about it. And like, I'd try and do all these different things in the morning. I don't know, I've done them all. Meditation, although I do sometimes still meditate in the morning, but not often. Not often right now because of my puppy. Journaling, scripting, affirmations, I don't know, different things, you name it. I've probably done it in the morning and tried to do it as a morning routine. But it just never kind of stuck, and I never really felt like it really helped me, honestly. Like right now, what I do in the morning, because I do believe that starting the day right is going to help you for the day. But you don't need a fucking morning routine to do that. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to do that. Of course, if you have a job you need to get to, like, you do have a different kind of like schedule in your morning than I do. But still, like, sleep is important. Do not like wake up at some ridiculous time and lose your precious sleep, because losing sleep is going to be more detrimental to you in the long run. Because like you can't do anything without health. And I found that with my clients. When I have clients come to me, like if they are dealing with health things, there is nothing else. Like that is the first and foremost issue that people want to work on. And it's not until they work on those like drastic like physical health things that they can actually start to even like fathom working on the mental and emotional things. You know, like if you're stuck in bed, if you're like, you know, so fatigued that you can barely function in the day, like you're not thinking about the other things. And so that's an extreme case, but like, you know, sleep is important. So don't cut down your sleep. But I digress. The point is that like my current morning routine, like it takes me like if you can even call it that, it takes me like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and it's not even really routine. And most of the time I do it in the shower or as I'm waking up. And it's literally just me like telling myself, and not even in a mirror. These aren't even really like affirmations. I don't class these as affirmations. It's literally just me setting myself up for like a good day. I tell myself the same things every single day. Like, today is going to be the best fucking day I've ever had. I'm going to make more money in my business than any day prior to this. I'm going to impact more people than ever. I'm going to have the best results for my clients today. Like, I'm going to have more love, more joy, more freedom, more satisfaction in my life than any day up until this point. I'm going to have a fucking amazing day. I'm unstoppable. I am savage. I am fucking amazing. And like I can say right now that I have a lot of conviction when I say these things. And maybe they don't come true every single day. Like maybe not every day. Like yesterday was not the highest cash day in my business to date. But it doesn't matter. Because every fucking day I set myself up for that by saying that today is going to be the best day yet. It's not about whether it is or not. It's about having that conviction to repeatedly do that and say that and be strong and be like, fuck yeah. And even if it's not today, it will be tomorrow. And that's why every single day I wake up and I say those things to myself, and I can have so much conviction in my words. And at the beginning, like, it may not feel like you have much conviction. And trust me, I was not always this way. Like, not at all. And like, I feel like now I basically, with the work I do, I have the fucking cheat code to life. Like, as I said, like, I've been doing this work since the end of 2018. And it wasn't until, the end of last year, the end of 2024, where I had been doing the emotion code and the body code. I found the emotion code in January, the end of January in 2024. So just over a year now. So I haven't been doing this work for very long. But fuck, I love it. And I'm fucking good at it. And I get my clients incredible results. And I've gotten myself incredible results. And that's the only reason I can do it for others, is because like I fucking made it happen in myself first. But I tried so many different things. And honestly, like, I just felt like I was spinning my wheels. I was not getting anywhere. Like, I was doing all the fucking inner work, all the healing work. And sure, things were getting better, but it was so slow. And I was repeating the same patterns. And then new weird fucking patterns would come up. I'd be like, what is that coming up from? And like, I didn't really feel like things were progressing very much after this many years of doing inner work and healing. And I'm like, what the hell? Like this, I refuse to settle for this. And it was, around like literally a couple of days before I found the emotion code, where I was like, fuck it. Like, this is it. I'm sick of this. Like, I'm going all in. And I had already been all in, but like, I needed to get to that point of like absolute fucking conviction in myself, where I was like, no, like, I'm fucking done, bro. Like, this is it. It's time. And 2 days later, I found the emotion code. And it was the modality for me that just fucking worked. Like, after all the modalities I've tried, and it's going to be different for everyone. And this is why I'm such a big proponent of, like, everyone is different. And there's no one size fits all in anything. Not just this work, but anything at all. Like, the modality that suits me amazingly may not suit you at all. But for me, this was it. And I started using it, and like, things started shifting. Like, I was like, it cannot be this simple. The technique, and one of the reasons why I love it so much, is it's so fucking simple. And I have just seen so much progress, and I saw progress so easily and quickly. And so I just kept going. And I got certified, and I kept going, and I had, in July last year, I had my first client. And I wasn't trying to make it a business at that point. It just, like, I just got a client. And I didn't even know if I wanted to even see. This is like back in July. Like, I had no idea. I'd tried so many businesses, and I was just not. I've constantly worried about money my whole life, even though if you look at things logically in my life, there is not really much reason for me to have worried about money to the extent that I have. But, like, even in July, like, I had no real point. Like, I was not serious about making this a business. I still didn't even know if I wanted to do it on other people. I just had this one client that I got because I was part of the practitioner map on Discover Healing, which is the company that does the emotion, body code, and belief code certifications. And I was only on the practitioner map because I was part of, they have like a continued education program. And part of being on that is like you automatically go onto the practitioner map. And anyway, it wasn't until November that I started the body code. That's the second level certification. And even when I started that, like I was like, I don't know, do I really want to do this for others? I don't know. Like it was mostly just because it was working for me so well. But then it wasn't until December when I was like I was like, yeah, I got to do the belief code. And the belief code for me completely changed my life. It changed everything for me. Like, and that's why I am more passionate about belief code than I am any of these three modalities. Of course, they all work wonders, and depending what you're going through, like one is probably gonna like come up more than the others. But like belief code, when I started doing that work on myself, like my life, when I tell you, like it started changing, oh my God. Like in December, nothing really happened. And then in January, I just woke up and I was like, yep, I'm making it a business this year. I just knew. This year, I had no idea. I was still full of a lot of self-doubt. I had no idea how. I was just like, right, this is the year. I'm going to make this my business. This is what I want to do. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. I want to do it. And a big thing for me was like, I just spent a lot of my life like feeling lacking purpose. And I was one of those people that have traveled to so many countries. I've lived in a lot of countries. I've done a lot of different jobs and careers. I've studied a lot of different things. You name it. I've like just done so much. And it was just because I just didn't know. Nothing fulfilled me. And they've done things that I liked, but like nothing fulfilled me. And this was literally the first thing in my entire life where I was like, yeah, like this is it. After 34 years of existing, like I finally found this thing and I knew it. Like after doing belief code, clearing all this shit, like I just knew it. This was it. And so in January, things were just moving along, and I didn't get any new clients or anything. I still had my old clients and really just one client. I had a couple of other clients, but they'd come for 1 or 2 sessions. But this client that started with me in July last year, she's still my client today. So she's like my longest running client. But anyway, it was in January that I was like, fuck, I need to leave my job. And truthfully, I should have left my job ages ago. But like I was not, like I disliked my job probably for at least a year. And don't get me wrong, my job was fun, but it had stopped being fulfilling for me for a long time. I enjoyed my job, and I'm very thankful for that job. But it had very long run its expiry date for me. And I was getting to the point where I like loathed it, and I didn't want to go, and I didn't want to leave the job on like a bad note. And I was like, I need to finish. And at this point, I still had only one client. Like, this was ridiculous. I had no idea how I was going to get more clients. And I decided to leave. And I said to my bosses, because, you know, we have a good relationship. And I didn't want to leave them, like, hanging in the dry, because it was, like, I was an artist. So it was not, like, a regular 9-to-5 job. And there was very few employees. And I told them, you know, I'd do I think I said until the end of March. So I was giving them a lot of notice. But I knew it was going to be probably they'd struggled in the past to find employees and stuff. So I just wanted to give them notice, and I was like, shit. Like, also, I just needed to give myself a deadline. Like, at this point, I still wasn't quite certain that I was going to, actually make my business work. But, you know, that was it. And once I did that, oh my God, I can't remember. It was like I can't tell you. Like, it was like a load came off my shoulders. And finally, I had a deadline. Like, that's it. I have to make it work by then. And then I remember it was like sometime into February. And I was like, I can't fucking do this job anymore. Like, I know I said to the end of March, but I can't do it anymore. I still only had basically my one client. And my money, like the money I was making from my business was like basically nothing. But I just knew I had to leave my job. I was so over it. I just needed to leave. And So I think midway through February, I was like, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to leave next week. And so they were like, yeah, okay. Like, it was fine. And so we decided on my last shift. And I did my last shift. And it was so funny because it was literally the week after I left my job. Like the week, like my last shift was like a Saturday or a Sunday or something. And that following week, out of the blue, I gained a client from the practitioner map that I told you about on Discover Healing website. A client came to me out of the blue, and he's still my client today. And him coming to me was basically like the propelling of my business taking off. Like, I kid you not. It was like a days after I'd finished my job. I was so worried about finishing my job because I still did not have a solid income in my business. And in that final week of February, I made more money in my business than I did in like the whole month prior in my last job. It was only like a part-time job. And then in March, I made more money in March in my business than I like normally would in like 2 months in my job before. And then April was even bigger again. And this month is shaping up to be even bigger again. And the clients just come to me. Like, they are now, my business is currently at this point like 95% referrals. And so when I say, like, honestly, intuitively, like, I should have left my business ages ago. I should have left my job ages ago. But I was so afraid. I was so afraid of leaving because there was no security blanket. But yeah. And so like that was huge for me. And since then, like the belief work code I've done on myself, like even when I tell you, like back in March, I was not confident in my business. Yeah, the money was coming through, but I was so afraid, and clients were seeing amazing results. And these were clients they were good clients. You know, my clients come to me like once or twice a week. Like, these are good clients, and I work on their family members. Like, I get them results. So they come to me, and then I normally like some of my clients, I have worked on them, and then maybe their partner, and then their children, and then their mum and their dad, and then maybe their siblings. Like, I work on the whole family. And this is like not just one person. These are like multiple people like this that I've worked on their families like this. Well, like this is why, like, I love what I do, and I know I'm good at it, and I get my clients results, and so they want like to, you know, refer people to get their family coming because they see how good the results are in themselves, and they bring their family, and they want everyone they know. And this is exactly what happened to me, you know, like I wanted to help others because I saw how amazing the results were on myself. And yeah, I can't even remember where this originally was going. Oh my god, I knew this was going to happen. I was going to get off topic. But yeah, like, it's just completely changed my life. And that's why I think I have the effing cheat code. Because I tried for so long to like rewire, like, so I've done before, there's like NLP, a lot of mindset work. My background is I have a degree in psychology. Like, I have done like a lot of like subconscious reprogramming, hypnosis, EFT, like a lot of different stuff. And like it worked to an extent for me, but like it just didn't work like this work works for me and for my clients and for others. And it's so simple, like it's so effortless. Like, and that is one of the reasons why I love it. Like, with a lot of other work I did, I felt like there was so much effort I had, like conscious effort I had to put into. Like for this, there's like no effort. Like I just sit there, tap into my subconscious, muscle test the shit out of it. Like it tells me what needs to be released. I release it. Like there's no consciousing. There's no consciousing. There's no conscious efforting, you know? Like with other work I had to do, like you had to like find your beliefs by questioning yourself, and half the time they weren't even like the right things because we're so blind to our own shit. And that's why this work is so amazing, because you don't have to be, you have to ask yourself questions. There's no conscious effort. You're not consciously trying to bring the subconscious to your conscious. You just let muscle testing show you everything. It's so fucking simple and effective. And like when I say like, yeah, like this is my fucking cheat code to life. Because before I was like efforting so hard, and I was stuck in years of like the same stuff. And that's how I can now like look at myself, or like not even look at myself, just be in the shower, just stand here right now and say like, today is going to be the best day. I'm going to impact more people. Today is going to be the day that I make more cash in my business than before. Like, and I can say that with so much conviction because now I know who I am. I'm so strong in myself. No one can tell me otherwise. And if you had talked to me like even like a couple of months ago, like I would have been like I remember this, there was this it was at the beginning of March. It was when my business had started taking off, but it was still very early on, you know, like it had only started taking off at the end of February. And I was having a conversation with my parents, and I said something about like this year I'm going to make my business into like $1 million business. And then I was saying like this year is going to be 6 figures and next year is million. And my parents were like, well, you know, you just got to put in the work. And I remember feeling like as we were having this conversation, like they were basically, you know, telling me like, don't get ahead of myself. But like not in like a bad way. They were just, you know, trying to be logical about it, which is fine. It's normal, you know. Like my parents are extremely supportive, but like they're very logical. And I remember as we were having this conversation, I started the conversation with this like conviction, and then as we went through, like I noticed myself like getting really shaky, and I was like, yeah, yeah, like I'm gonna make like 6 figures this year. Like my business is gonna be $1 million. And I remember by the end of the conversation, I was like, oh, maybe I can't do it. And now I look back at that at the start of March, and the work I've done on myself, because I work on myself like basically every day. Like I am more committed than most people to, you know, this work. Like something triggers me, I get on top of it. Like that is me. That's who I am. That's why I don't need a morning routine. No, I'm kidding. That is just morning routine's not for me. But like now, like what is it? It's the beginning of May. So it's like 2 months on, and I'm pretty sure if I had that kind of conversation with someone now, like no one could fucking make me break. Like no one could shake me. I just have so much conviction in myself now. Like I shift things so rapidly. Like my energy will shift from one day to the next. And that's because I have my cheat code. Like this work. Like it's so easy for me to shift my energy now. And that's why I'm so passionate about this work, you know, because like I can shift things so easily. Like I just jump from version of myself to version of myself like so quickly now. Like I don't even know if people can tell from the outside, to be honest. Like how I feel on the inside, the person I am compared to the person I was back in December when I started doing my belief code certification is like like years apart, you know? Like it should have taken me, like doing the other work that I was doing before this, all the other work, it could have taken me like another 10 years. I don't know, like maybe not that long, but you know, it would have taken me so many more years to get to this point. And would I have even gotten to this point? I don't know. And I could consciously effort myself to force myself to get to this point, but like I don't even need to, because I can just do this work, and like the identities effortlessly shift. I can effortlessly shift into my next level. And it's just so amazing. Like, now I can just talk about this, you know? Yeah. I don't know where else to go with that. But yeah, that's it. Like that. And that's why you don't need a morning routine. Like if you are like me and you feel like, and it doesn't just apply for morning routines, like this applies for literally anything. Like you have to, and this is another thing, this work allowed me to build self-trust. Like there are many ways to build self-trust, but for me, this is like the easiest, quickest, most painless way to build self-trust because I was so self-doubtful. Even, back in, like I said, March, I still had so much self-doubt. And now it's like gone. And I'm sure I'll reach a new level where new self-doubt will come, but like, that I'm not as, like, I don't really have self-doubt anymore. Like, I'm so strong and convicted in who I am and what I stand for and where I'm going, and I'm so fucking committed to making it happen. Like, no one can stop me. And even if it doesn't look like it's working on the outside, like if it's not going as fast as I'd like or whatever, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, those aren't even questions I ask myself anymore. Those aren't even questions I ponder. Those aren't even questions I give the time of day. Because I just know. And I, like, honestly, even a week ago, I could not have told you that I was this convicted in myself. That's how quickly I can shift things with this work, with myself and with others. I love it. And so, yeah, you don't need a morning routine. You don't need anything. You don't need anything outside of yourself. Like, there's going to be things that work for you and things that don't. But, like, in anything, like, you don't know one thing is going to be the thing. Like, yeah, like, I used to tell myself that I wasn't where I wanted to be because I didn't do X or I didn't do Y, or like, I don't have a morning routine, so that must be why I'm not where I want to be. Or like, oh my God, like I don't do enough work. That's why, like, I don't work enough, hard enough. And let me tell you, I've always been someone who does, I have a strong work ethic. I can work hard, but like, I don't believe in hard work. I believe in living my life. Like, I don't believe in working, 10 hours a day. Like sometimes in my business, I love my business so much that I may work long hours, but like most days, like this is like a huge reason, probably the number one reason that I wanted a business my whole life was so that I could have complete freedom in my schedule, in, financial freedom, the freedom to travel when I wanted, the freedom to be where I wanted. Location freedom is huge for me. Like, if I want to work from home, if I want to work from a cafe, I want to take a camping trip and work from the bush. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to, like, suddenly, oh, look, I want to go to, like, Hawaii. It's such a random place that came to my mind. I've never been to Hawaii. Like, next week. So, like, I'm going to work from Hawaii. Like, that was the whole reason that I started my business. So, like, no, I do not. Most days, I do not work long hours. I work, like, some days, I work, like, 2 hours a day. Some days. Like, and my mornings, like, I don't start work until, like, 10 a.m. maybe. I don't take any clients until before 11. I only take clients between 11 and 4 p.m. And, like, most of my clients are actually, like, online anyway, and I do their sessions in my own time via email, so I just do the sessions whenever I want. But the clients I do see normally, like, by phone, or I have a couple of clients in person at the moment. Like, I only see them between very certain times, because the rest of the time, I don't want to be working if I don't want to. I want to be living my life. That's why you run a business, right? That's why you want financial freedom, to live your life. And anyway, oh my God, I got off topic again. So yeah, like, nothing needs to be done. You need to just build that self-trust in yourself. And I did this with my cheat code. And now, like, I don't need to look outside myself. Like, I feel so confident. Like, I don't need anything. I don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. I don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. I don't need a morning routine. I don't need, I don't know, X, Y, Z. I don't need to work hard. I don't need to like be super productive. I don't need to, I don't know, have everything planned out to the minute. Like, I don't need to be hell bent on productivity. I don't need a team of people to help me in my business. I don't know. There's so many things. Like, you don't need anything. What you need to do, there's one thing, is to trust your intuition and build self-trust. And everything else will just fall into place. Like, you don't need any strategies in anything. You know, even when it comes to like, because I'm like also, like, especially like now my business has kind of taken main precedence in my life, but like before, right before my business took off, I was really, really like in an era of my life where like health was really like a big thing. And so I still do work out, you know, like 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm training as healthy as possible. But before then, like, it was the same thing for me. Like, oh my God, like I'd see like people online and be, oh my God, I need to eat like this. Oh my God, I need to do this. I need to do this. No, what I need to do is listen to my body and do things that my body wants me to do. Like, you know, today I woke up and it's almost my period and I was going to go to CrossFit, but I just didn't feel like it. My body is sore and lethargic. And I'm still going to get there 4 times this week. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, of course, my mind is like, oh, maybe you need to get there 5. And then I was like, no, I'm going to listen to my body. And same with eating. You know, of course, there's a knowledge part. Like, I gained knowledge. And now, because I have that knowledge, I can intuitively eat. But I listen to my body. And it's the same with everything. It's just about building self-trust and trusting your intuition to lead you where you need to go. That's going to get you where you want to go. So no, you don't need a morning routine. So thank you so much for listening to this very first podcast episode of me rambling. If you enjoyed it, obviously this is the very first episode, so, you know, please leave a nice rating for me. And I will be recording another episode soon. You can go and follow me on my Instagram. It is at BEM Healing. And let me know if there's specific topics you'd like to talk about, you'd like me to talk about. Go check out my other stuff. Maybe you'd like me to elaborate on some of the things I talk about over on my Instagram. And if you'd like to work with me, you can find all that information over on my Instagram. You can find my website is also bemhealing.com. I have a number of different ways you can work with me at the moment, all different one-on-one ways, long-term containers, one-off sessions, other ways. And I'm currently in the process of building my first online course that will be hopefully coming out in the next couple of months or so. Yay, got to get on that. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to this very first episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.